My name is Craig Gamalka. I'm the recruiter for all of our graduate programs here at the University of Michigan-Flint for the School of Management. And I'd like to introduce Antonio Riggs, who's our career planning counselor. He works with all of our internships and career services. So he's here to talk to you today about kind of a graduate school advancement. And Antonio, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you very much, Craig. So when Craig asked me to do this, I was kind of in limbo because when you talk about, how to get a promotion after graduate school, or it's always kind of weird because supervisors are different. There is no written policy or procedures on how companies promote or look within for students to pursue opportunities, or how a current employer decides to advance you within your career. But for the most part, I took some notes. I looked at a couple websites, seeing what other career counselors were putting out there and what they were talking about. And I had about 5 or 6 slides to go over with you. So when thinking about, what are you going to do with your degree? I always look at myself and where I came from and how I got to where I got today. And why'd I come to graduate school? And so those are some things that I would like to get you to ask is, ask yourself is, why'd you come to graduate school? Did you think about career advancement or a change in career to enhance some type of skill that you wanted to enhance? Was it a legacy status type idea? Me, I always said, hey, in order for my kids to surpass me, I have to set the bar somewhere. So I wanted to do it as a legacy thing. Advance your qualifications. Could it be cost effective to go to grad school now versus in the past? There are additional employer incentives and life goals. So there's different reasons why we decide to come back to grad school. But when we think about short and long-term goals, the reasons why we elected to come to grad school and to achieve our goals, I think they're connected at some point. And utilize the why moving forward to see how can you advance your career. And so if you're new within your entry-level role after grad school, or if you're currently working at a place of employment and you want to get out there to your supervisor and say, hey, I got this degree, how can I move forward? I would suggest that you develop some kind of a strategy. And I think we all work in different places and locations, but the strategy could be, what am I doing now, and how does the organization benefit, and how you can present it or promote that. And so focus on your accomplishments and what activities have you completed. I try to write everything down. I think it's good practice with us at U of M is we have annual employer reviews. I don't know what it is at your organizations, but from those employer reviews, you can highlight your pros and cons of the semester and talk about future goals. And I have been very fortunate throughout all of my careers or my job opportunities that I've been in, is I've had very supportive managers to give me the resources and the autonomy to be creative within my role and implement new programs and services for students. And I hope that you all are experiencing that same type of leadership within your organization. And sometimes to get a promotion, it's all about communicating with your boss. What you're doing at the organization, you're currently in graduate school, I've completed my degree, here are some of the skills that I've acquired, and how can I really put this to use for the organization? Also have that conversation of what does it take to get promoted? I would like to be here. And sometimes supervisors that care about your well-being and your career growth and development, they may give you a good outline or some things to do. And one thing to keep in mind that, promotions can only happen if there's budget and if there's the opportunity. And so when we talk about, what is the time frame, that may be, there may be some backlog there if no one decides to leave their positions. It may be based on if somebody's going to retire soon or not, but at least you can talk to your supervisor and get an idea on how promotions tend to work within the organization. The next option that I got is mentor, right? We preach mentor, we preach networking all the time. Mentors are a good place to start to get that insider information within the company or organization. Sometimes they have the knowledge on who's going to retire, who put in their 60-day notice to go to another organization, and how you can potentially maneuver your way through the playing field of an organization. And so that's one of the best things that I would suggest that you do is identify a mentor. If it's within your organization or outside of your organization, I tend to have three. One is my academic mentor who's been coaching me to get my master's specialist and including my doctorate degree. I have a life mentor that kind of helped me, with the ropes, with just general guidance on how to become a better person, family man, and all that good stuff. And then I work with people, throughout my time at the university. I haven't, really looked at, my supervisor as a mentor, but I think he gives me great guidance on, the job, my role, and some of the things that I should be doing. And so I always try to find someone at work who serves as, my personal mentor that I can ask specific questions to. And then, keep learning. In your strategy of keep learning, what are you taking a part in now that's going to help you advance in the future? While you're at work, if you're thinking about going to another role, start trying to identify the skills that you need to acquire to move up into that position. And so myself and Craig, we're in two different roles. I work on the career services side. Craig does the admissions piece. But if I ever had idea to move towards admissions or sales, I would try to network or seek Craig out for a mentor because he does a lot of sales a lot, even though he's not exchanging dollars in transaction per se in his sales opportunity, but he does know presentations. He has great customer service skills. He communicates effectively, and he's very informative when it comes to going out and presenting the university and representing the institution well as his personal brand to recruit people to the school. And so there's some things that, I could possibly, reach out to Craig for to acquire skills on how he does his role and how can I implement that in my current role, or if I wanted to move to a different role, all those transferable skills out there. Also, keep learning is looking to expand your career path within your organization or a company that you're looking to go into. Look at the organizational structure, the chart, and what all opportunities are above the one that you're currently in or the position that you're seeking. And start to identify how you get there. And so that could be a conversation with your mentor, based on that time that they've been at the organization. How do you see promotions working? When I worked at Northwood University, I thought it was about, hey, if a position comes up, you apply for it. At Northwood, it was more of a tap on the shoulder type deal. Hey, we have this opportunity. Are you interested? U of M, kind of the same opportunity. Something gets presented. You get asked that question, are you interested in doing something like this? And you give some thought to it, and hopefully a job description gets written up and you can fill that role. And so you have to identify what the playing field is. How do people get promoted throughout their career journey with the organization? Make sure that you tap into some publications or joining some clubs or organizations as it relates to your profession. For me, I am a part of at least two right now, and another two organizations that hold my career certifications. And so being a part of those clubs and organizations can allow you to expand your knowledge in a specific industry or career. Also, you can get some cross training within those clubs and organizations, and you get to meet with people that may have been in a position that you're in now and have advanced, and they can give you good insight on what it took for them to get from where they are and where they're going. Another strategy to think about is looking at social media and staying abreast with professional trends and what other employers are doing. I always try to push in the efforts of networking, make sure you get you a LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is super cool because they have a job portal and you can review a lot of job descriptions and information utilizing LinkedIn. when you start to scan some of these job search engines and job boards, you'll get a good idea on the hiring process or the hiring seasons for certain job opportunities. And you want to keep that in mind as a piece of your strategy on how you want to make your move. So I've been in higher education all my career. And so I know that right now is the hiring season for individuals in higher education. So starting in February, going into, I want to say June 1st, could be the hiring season for people in higher education. Offers get extended by July 15th. There's a later hiring season too, where offers will get extended by August 1st. And so when you work in these different careers, identify the hiring season, when jobs get posted, and when you should start applying for some of those opportunities as a part of your strategy, whether if you're seeking a promotion within the company and or outside of the company. So Muse, which is another career platform out there, they gave 13 points on how to get promoted. And so with that being said, I'll highlight all 13 points and then I'll give you my 2 cents on these points. They said you want to make your boss feel become obsolete. Now, not stating that you're taking over your supervisor's role, but in the effort to enhance your abilities or skills or reduce the workload of your supervisor, you may ask to take on some additional tasks. If you decide to do that, make sure you still can complete the current work assignments that you have and take on additional roles within your current role. Also, make sure you don't overwork yourself if you decide to take on new roles. Burnout is real, and so make sure you keep a work-life balance before you just dive in and start taking on new activities and things come up and you can't meet those obligations that you've already set yourself out to do. Also, you're going to take note of your work that we talked about before, highlight some of your accomplishments, and be able to present that to your supervisor during those times of evaluations, or you can take note of your work, highlighting it on your resume and or your LinkedIn profiles, because recruiters do search some of those social media platforms. And if you're out and about at a conference or networking with someone else, you want to be able to educate those individuals on what you're doing and how you provide value to that organization. I think it's customary that we, start our projects and we finish our projects. And so you take some ownership of it, make sure you see it through. When you start to take on other work obligations, make sure nothing falls to the wayside. If you do get a little overwhelmed, you may have to adjust your timeline when completing some of those tasks so that you can start strong and finish strong in some of those new activities that you participate in. Keep a positive attitude at all times. Regardless of the way I may be feeling inside, I always use some of those words of, hey, how you doing today, Antonio? Awesome, great day. When you start talking positive, I think that you feel a little bit more positive inside and you can, work a little bit more effectively. So try to keep a positive attitude within yourself and when engaging with others. Now that you're in the process of completing your degree, inform others that you're looking for a promotion. Tell your supervisor, I've completed my degree, and you may have an idea of an opportunity that you're looking to jump into or move forward to. So keep others informed that you're looking. If you decide to use LinkedIn, there is an option that you can highlight on your profile that you're open for new opportunities. So that's out there. Politics, try to stay out of politics and office gossip, but I am one of those people that I always keep my ear to the street, because a lot of times when people decide to leave roles or opportunities, the gossip in the office or throughout the company is how you will find that information out if it doesn't go public. And if you may hear about something, you can quietly bring that information to a supervisor regarding an opportunity and see how you can maneuver your way there. but just be mindful and be tactful if you decide to ask your supervisor a question regarding office gossip. So always keep that in mind. And so if you decide to leverage gossip to pursue an opportunity, I think making sure you have the appropriate information and not just go off the gossip. And so you may have to do some research yourself before you decide to approach a supervisor and inquire about moving or changing roles, because you don't want to blow the horn on someone and the supervisor is unaware or caught off guard. I think we all display commitment to our employers, our organizations. And so with commitment can lead to, that personal branding and branding yourself within the organization, whether if you highlight that information on your LinkedIn profile, you're already put it out there in your resume, and then, putting in that quality of work when showing that commitment. You're out there, you're building relationships, you're thinking of your organization in a positive way in the community. And when you go out and volunteer on behalf of the organization, you're representing yourself well there. And so having that commitment to your organization shows a lot. Out of these things that we listed here, some people may not bring it to your attention that they're happy the way you're carrying yourself or the way that you're promoting the organization. But remember, life is like a fishbowl and somebody is always watching. And so the goal is to catch the eye of someone in particular that can place you in a new role where you can get more money or more job satisfaction. Your work should always be exceptional. I know there are times we make mistakes on our jobs, and just make sure we own up to those mistakes and try to do better next time. And as you move forward and you progress within your work, other people will see it and begin to ask you to join other committees or highlight or implement a program to help you make that transition. Make money. Sometimes within our roles, people that move up a little bit faster, either they're making the organization money or they're finding ways to save the organization money throughout your activities. And so that could be a fast track option on how you want to get the promotion if you're looking for one. And they have, attract and manage great talent. So with your degree, if you were that supervisory or leadership role, how are you engaging with your coworkers that either work under you and or alongside of you? Are you being selfish? Are you, really praising the work that they do in that team effort environment? Highlight your leadership skills and how that meshes within the team can lead to some advancement. Every great leader has people that work with them to allow them to be a good leader. And so make sure you look at your leadership skills and how you're engaging with other people to get the best out of everyone and provide a good service. Within your first year of the job, if you're, get an opportunity, who gave me this? Glassdoor said that here are 5 things you can do. Attend conferences, get an advanced degree, work on relationships with coworkers or superiors, regularly update information and communication expertise, and upgrade your wardrobe. A lot of times we feel conferences may not be of a good benefit to us. I'm a fan of going to conferences because I tend to go there and to learn emerging trends of technology, what advances that can happen within my profession. And so, my opinion, conferences are awesome. They're great networking opportunities, and you can meet people that can help you advance within your career, possibly identify another mentor in those professional organizations, and work with people of diverse backgrounds. Sometimes going to different conferences and joining social organizations as it relates to your profession can lead to additional leadership roles. And so when seeking advancement, employers and companies always want to, get their brand out there. And so if you take on a leadership role within a organization or volunteer to be on a conference planning committee, Make sure that you have the time to do so, as well as continue to brand your organization within that organization. One of the best things I get out of going to conferences is identifying ideas at that conference and implementing them within my job. Some of those ideas, I'm a fan of working smarter and not harder. If another place is already doing this and we're not doing it at U of M, hey, how can we implement this? I think this is a good idea. And like I said earlier, my supervisors have been awesome with giving me the autonomy to be creative and supporting myself with resources to implement new ideas and activities for the school. And I hope that your supervisors that you work with do provide the same for you. We're already at the point of either in the process of completing our degrees, or we enrolling in an advanced degree to get a promotion. Some of these degrees would allow you to meet the basic qualifications for some of those leadership roles within your organization. That's where it leads to you doing the research for that future position that you're looking forward to. Is what are the degree requirements, and what are some of those skills you need to acquire while you're completing your academic program to advance a little bit further. We're back at that relationship topic. Relationships are key across your organization, whether if you have one mentor or many. Make sure you're establishing good relationships and good rapport with your coworkers, because behind closed doors, somebody can speak highly of your name, and somebody will ask you to work on a project or ask you to commit some work obligations in another department. And so relationships, key. Network, network, network. Can't stress it more enough. And regular updates. And so, updating your resume when you distribute it, updating your LinkedIn, communicating with your supervisor or your colleagues about maybe some opportunities that you're looking to do within the organization and or outside of the organization. One of the downfalls with communication, some people will feel that you're running away from your position. And I am a fan of, I am aware that there are people out there that just don't want to see you succeed. And so in your process of networking and building those relationships, make sure you identify people's character before you start sharing all of your ideas on advancing or changing careers. So just be mindful of who you share that information with, and an effort to safeguard yourself, and making sure no one backdoors you for some reason. And they say you got to dress the part you're looking to get. And so you may have to identify, the culture of the organization, what are people wearing in those leadership roles, and you may have to, dress the part that you want. So with working at an organization, if you can't find a position or something that you're looking to move up into, make sure you're not afraid to look for new opportunities. If you can't find an opportunity within your current place of employment, that's why you got an advanced degree. And sometimes, hey, you may have to look outside of your organization or apply for a new job and start over from scratch to get promoted. And so scan the market, look at some of those job search engines and see what's out there, whether if you're going to use Handshake, which the university promotes. Indeed has always been a good source, in my opinion. LinkedIn does have a job search database. Staffing agencies are still out there, they're in business, as well as you have myself and a host of other individuals on campus that participate in our career center or career advising committee that can assist you with pointing you to opportunities, referring you to job opportunities, and expand your network. My first 3 professional jobs I got was because I knew someone. The degree that I just acquired did help me with the qualifications, but knowing someone in a place can help you get your foot in the door, or if you walk in an interview and you have someone on your interview panel that you pretty much got half of the interviewers sold, because that person has already, talked about you behind closed doors and said you were a good candidate. You just have to convince the other half of the panel that don't know you too well, or just keeping their eyes, optimistic in the scenario, that you're the best candidate for the job. And so I talked to an individual twice. Last week, I met with someone from Boeing, and he gave 30 years to Boeing, and he got that job opportunity because a classmate that graduated 2 years before him remembered him from school. And he called him up, reached out to him, asked him to come out to California, but there's some more backstory behind it on their friendship and how he took his friend out to California for his first interview at Boeing. And he got the job based on that travel to California. And he reached back out to his friend when an opportunity came out, and he got an opportunity. The guy yesterday told me he met his boss while doing a parent career day at his kid's school. Based on the career information he presented and, networking and talking with other parents, a year later, one of the individuals he met at that career day reached back and offered him a job opportunity. And so network. If we were sitting in a classroom, I would tell you to look to your left and your right and exchange numbers or LinkedIn usernames, or get on your cell phone for your LinkedIn app and save everybody to be a friend in the room. You still can do that as an option, but leverage your network, the people that you're in class with, the faculty, the staff, the career center personnel as resources. You're here with, so many different resources that can add to your network and allow you to either seek new opportunities or maybe advance within your current role. And so this is some of the ideas that I got from online, and I included some of my own scenarios in this presentation as well, on how I was able to network and get a few promotions that I have during my time as a career professional. And I hope it was good advice for you. And I don't have to talk, your ears off. So let me know any questions or your thoughts.
That was absolutely fantastic, Antonio. Thank you for all the great advice. And before we go on to questions here, Felice did put a comment in the chat where she was talking about making sure character is really good in terms of you talking about career advancement, which I think was absolutely fantastic, because there's some great people out there. There's some not so great people out there, like you mentioned, that might try to backdoor you. So know somebody's character when you're talking about certainly promotions. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah. And, that comes through having those quality social engagements over time. And so if you, go to an employer over the first 90 days, you're not going to know someone's character. But if someone rubs you wrong, take it as a grain of salt, but if they do it 2 or 3 more times, then it's like, okay, there's something here. You can go above and beyond and reach out to that person and ask them some questions on, hey, using I statements. If you took in a conflict management class, use I statements, or you can Google I statements. Try not to place blame or forward a conviction towards someone, but inquire of, hey, we had the scenario, I think we're off to a bad start. Sometimes you got to get to know people, and a lot of people have barriers up for some reason that could have been caused by gossip, or they could have applied for the same position you've received and they didn't get it, and so they may have some issues there. But just make sure you have those interactions and good relationships with people on the job, so you get to know them.
So questions from anybody. I know Antonio's more than happy to answer any questions you guys might have. So please.
And remember, I just got to throw my disclaimer out. With all this information, it really depends on the employer, opportunities that are out there, and what their hiring decisions will be. You can do all this stuff. You can overwork yourself and be super overcommitted, and you may not get a promotion. And so those are times where you have to say, is this a place where I want to be, and decide to leave, or do you want to stay and just see how things turn out? Some promotions don't happen within a 1 or 2 year time frame. It may take 5 or 10 years to move to the next role or advance within your career. And so that's where you're going to have to develop your strategy and figure out how much time you want to give to an employer.
Well, outstanding. Again, everybody, appreciate your time and have a wonderful rest of the afternoon.